another update, and another week without anything worth reporting on Halo&Destiny. In fact, other than the weekly update, or the weekly ultimate challenge, there is nothing new. So, just like last week. Obviously, we're starting from the Destiny side of things. Result. And I will admit that I've been neglecting the remainder of gameplay last week. So even though I wanted to stream it, I haven't actually had the chance to play it, let alone stream it. The Imperial Decree. Alright, Essence Gold. Not sure how any of that's gold. Whatever. Sinking filling again this week. And again, I would recommend that for any ARC players. You need the Master Chief when you've got a Master Chef, right? Great for those Neon Genesis fans, I suppose. Not a bad looking trench coat type thing, but it's not symmetrical, so it's not really up to my taste. But I think I'll grab it anyway. Looks more like a turret bot. Good old gold one. Very prismy. Prism Spring Camouflage. Now, one thing I did look up is apparently there's 2 more new weapons added as part of this update. Granted, I don't really remember which ones they were. Oh hey, I still have that somehow. Thought it was supposed to expire.
How can I help?
I doubt they'll be adding any more of those skimmers until they actually start skimmer proofing the game. Or at least create a high enough demand to warrant both skimmer proofing and players spending a bunch of silver by purchasing real life currency to get a skimmer outside of the event. Pretty sure that's only the second time I've ever triggered that. I don't know enough. Mainly because, well, without that thing following me around, I
Let's get you back out there. Deal.
coding is the Suros one.
Till next time.
So I do know the decoding at the very least changes every day.
Just gonna take a minute here.
It did expire, it just was buggy, I guess. One thing I discovered though, there are glimmer cards like on doors, not for the weapons. So the hand cannon, and the mountaintop.
How's your light, Warlock? Keeping it fierce?
Midnight. Ooh, that's the one it is. Not that I have any particular interest in those. Why can't I grab the newer one? Oh, it's not far enough west. Not that I have any particular interest in any of the content out of the mode itself. Although I do admit that I am interested in the Midnight Coup. But now I have to go on my way to pursue it. Nightfall is the new moon one. Galvanized Grenade, Overcharged Solar Surge, Stasis Surge, Overcharged Weapons, Empathy, Arc Threat, Champion Foes for Overload and Unstoppable, Standard Hero Modifiers, Increased Strength, and of course Shielded Foes for Arc, Solar, and Void. Pretty standard for that one too. Legends are Vex Obscura. Still don't know what that. I wish they actually said which exotic these missions give. Rhoda's End still featured. Ah. Oh, forwards round. So no, not featured for the week. Brood of Nightmares is featured though. I completed all the missions. Come on, Warlock. Guess I didn't. Huh. I wonder if both the seasonal featured and the weekly featured are one the same right now. Like how the moon has 2 dungeons. But apparently the derelict social space has been removed. Huh. Nexus doesn't have any dungeons. The Cosmodrome has the one. But no raid. I guess they really need to bring back Wrath of the Fiend to add a raid to the Cosmodrome. Not sure what they would do for Nexus as far as making it sure it has both at least one raid in dungeons. DBZ doesn't have a raid either. It's kind of a shame. Would be cool if each location had both a dungeon and raid. Especially if they brought them back. Or brought back the old locations, I should say. From earlier Destiny 1 and 2. Would be also kind of cool if they merged the two servers for Destiny 1 so that they can essentially host Destiny 1 into the second one, so players could just revisit that content, especially if they've never played it before. It would be easy enough to do if they expanded the tower a little bit so that you can go in towards the old Destiny 1 tower and had a memorial for those who died during the collapse of the tower as well as during the whole lightless situation of the Red War. And then continued with that by putting a little artifact thingy that's basically a holographic display of the system, which with each of the planets, kind of like what you had in the Destiny 1 speakers room, but a hologram version on much more compact scale that had little interactable globes for each location, and all it did was basically allow you to play legacy content. Each of the old locations, each of the D1 and D2 missions, including season missions, expansions and all that from just cut content, and even the old patrol. Another thing they could do is bring back the functions of planetary materials. Some of you might no, but honestly, they're useless of just as pure glimmer farms. That they're currently exist as. But what they could do to make that work, of course, would be something quite interesting. So, with the Enclave's craftable weapons, you've got enhanced traits, right? And they're making enhanced traits more common outside of collectible weapons. But what if they replace them so that non-enhanced traits are essentially traits tier 0? Enhanced traits are tier 1, and add additional
The black
traits
armor,
of that
thanks.
further enhance. And they basically level up like the older style craftable deep sight resins weapons did. So as you kill things, the perks themselves level up, and they reset if you change them. So you have to have them on there and let them level up by grinding stuff, right? It won't reset when you don't or won't stop progress just because you didn't upgrade them. But in order to upgrade them, you'll have to go to a hologram of ETA 1 set up much like in the set up in the back area of the Enclave. That's set up similar to her chambers room used to during the Black Armory, with her Black Armory functions restored nonetheless, as well as another part that seems some looms. So that it's more like so the Enclave serves as the crafter's paradise location. Now here's where things would get interesting. Planetary materials would be for upgrading perk level. They will still gain XP regardless of if you upgrade the perk or not. Whether they're crafted or not, doesn't matter if they all require the materials to craft. And of course, that would also depend on their origin location and what planet. And when I mean origin location, I'm just saying like where they were visually invented or manufactured or themed on. So for raid weapons, it would, and dungeon weapons, it would be whatever planet those were on. For world drops where they don't drop at any particular location but can drop anywhere, it would just be based off of the location of when it dropped. So if you're in a raid that takes place on, let's say, Savage Throne World, you would need the planetary material from Savage Throne World on it. But again, manufacturer origin, say if it was manufactured in the Dreaming City, that would mean that it would take precedence over the throne world itself. And a nice thing they could do while they expand that is connect the Hall of Champions, so you can literally walk from anywhere in the tower to the Hall of Champions if you so desire. And also add a hologram memorial for both Cade and Amanda, as well as a transmat quick travel location in the tower's hangar itself, based off of where they spawn you in when you first arrive in the tower. A tutorial section of the light. Once more, by including a memorial hologram of Amanda Holiday, it would just be her form, stagnant. But the Ida, because it's more of a remote terminal, would be stagnant until you interact with it, and then act like it's her controlling the hologram, which could be. This area right here is basically a shooting range. But if you like put it over here, like on the sides, the expanded area is usually workshop. Could even have it like hidden in one of these side alleys where it's a hidden chamber that you can open up. It's empty and they repurpose closed. You know? And then with the hologram of Amanda Holiday, it would resume the original functions of a vendor for Amanda Holiday, as well as replace the new light tutorial Amanda Holiday, so that it's not so jarring when you click the new light tutorial and hey, she's dead. Of course, it would be among the memorial that you can only see as those who, during the season where she died, which would not be made permanent, as well as the removal of a ship and Sparrow that she had been working on. But it would work quite well. Also, the Cade 6 memorial type thing would be essentially a hologram behind his current memorial that occasionally would say random lines Cade would say, and would be a full body hologram of him, occasionally switching to random poses, as would any memorial hologram would, to honor them, so to speak, but also preserve functionality of tower functions or vendor functions. With the exception of Xur, however, there is no reason why vendors would be both in the tower and other locations. So for those, you would just use holograms as remote vendors for them who are in the tower remotely utilize when they're not in the other location or when they're not in the tower themselves. In which case, you could also put holograms for the Faction Wars vendors. Dead Orbit, Monarchy, Future World War Cult, restoring the dance ray functionality. Of course, with the War Cult vendor dead, it would be completely stagnant. But
Welcome
you can
back.
interact with Monarchy's faction leader as well as Dead Orbits. It would definitely bring that functionality back. And, in theory, it could also bring back the ability to, like in Destiny 1, pledge your allegiance to one of the factions each week, or gain a faction exotic quest or class item with exotic life, so you can use it with anything outside of the exotic class items they're adding, of course. Which I hope it basically recreates exotic life, so it doesn't interfere with any exotics you want to equip. I also hope it's transmoggable because, like you can see, I don't much care for the hunter's cloak. I rather have like a scarf, if at all. The backpack design's pretty cool though, or decent enough. So transmogging the exotic class items they're adding to go with that would be nice. Though I doubt that'll happen. Beyond that, it would allow people to once again work toward get the random bundles for various content that no longer available for the faction wars, such as the ornaments are no longer available for some of the exotics. There was also exotic weapons and or catalysts that were part of that. Although you can still get the catalysts and or weapons themselves through alternative means, you can't get the ornaments that were related to the exotic armor or the weapons themselves anymore. So that would bring that functionality back in its whole. And you can make it sort of where the faction wars are more like a, not so much an event, but more like something to do with Crucible and Iron Banner, where you have teams repping their favorite faction, and then Iron
The
Banner.
Guardians inspired me to step up.
Mode that's only available on a rotation every other weekend or whatever. Even for Trials of Cyrus, you can do that. But you would also want to include manufacturers somehow, or foundries, if you will. And the easiest way to do that would be to basically have different foundries or have some exclusive weaponry that's good, available to each of the factions. And of course, you would probably bring back Trials of Osiris as one of those said factions, just because, well, you removed Mars, why not? Just food for thought. Although, I do feel like it would be beneficial going forward to make all seasonal weapons and all dungeon raid and raid weapons craftable. But I don't see that happening. See what I mean? Much prefer that over all this stuff. Of course, I also like the backpack, although the hood part kind of ruins it. Anyways, that's everything for this week's stream. As far as the normal stuff, of course. Now I'm going to get into the nitty gritty. What I mean by that, of course, and excuse me, allergies are kicking my butt. That'll help a little bit. What I mean by that, of course, is get into the whole quest thing. For those who haven't been playing the Onslaught playlist, which honestly, other than the fact that it's limited to 2 maps, I kind of prefer playing the Onslaught playlist. It's definitely one of the more enjoyable activities.
Show me everything, Guardian. No limits here.
So I kind of wonder. 45 scrap every time you do.
Remind me to bring you along the next time I feel like brawling.
Take that back. Decoy locations are
Execute all targets, and make sure you're still standing when the dust settles. love it! Got some fighting you. Good. Execute all targets, and make sure you're still standing when the dust settles. Fire team that fights together, stays together. I have prevented extinction-level events that were gentler than you. Fantastic work!
the biggest downside of I'm not sure if that's a good roll or not. The biggest downside of basically the Gift of the Thunder Lord is the sheer amount of legendary shards you're gonna be spammed with. They have almost no value anymore.
Your opponents will come for your life. Guard it fiercely. Pain leads to perfection, Guardian. Embrace it. Another battle won, on to the next fight.
I kind of feel like this too close.
This is a gauge of pure combat potential. Make me proud. obliterated them. Love it. Got some fight in you. Good.
No killing.
Execute all targets, and make sure you're still standing when the dust settles. Clutch tactics. I approve. I have prevented extinction-level events that were gentler than you. Fantastic work.
It's too bad that's not vendor for the brave. That would be a nice requirement for ranking up high class rank. I don't know why I have to.
This was made for
Oh
you.
my god. For the quest. Anyway. Whatever.
This was made for you. I know you'll use this well. On your way, Guardian. Our work is unfinished, Guardian. What can I do? Crucible gets harsher every day. It has to. I make sure of it. Did you show the darkness what light can do?
I guess I can only attune for the weapons quest completed. But I don't have the quest it looks like on my warlock, so I've got to swap from Titan to complete progress on it. That seems weird. Wow. So I literally only get it for the first class that I sign into. Or character I sign in with. Is that a bug, a design oversight? Or just simply a dumb decision on Bungie's part? You know, another nice thing would be, and this would make the activities more relevant, as if the chests that have various armor pieces for both Dares of Eternity and Onslaught dropped artificially. Maybe not guaranteed, but had the possibility. Though I would much rather it be guaranteed.
Don't waste it.
Everything depends on the Vanguard.
Crucible needs me, Guardian. Are you ready to deploy? I have an entire Crucible to officiate, Guardian. Don't make me wait. You're doing your part out there, I hope. But the Crucible always needs more fighters.
And I can't attune unless I've actually completed the quest.
Cade is gone.
And it looks like it's been stuck on us. No. So, the thing. Yep. That's basically onslaught quest in a nutshell, as long as I know and can determine. Alright, well, other than that whisper thing, which I'm not sure I want to even try. That's pretty much everything. Whispers. Oh. So it's requires you to also complete that quest already. The exotic quest that pre-exists. Interesting. Well, I think that's enough for this stream. Until next time, everybody.